Yo, what's going on, guys? Still a little sick, so I'm gonna probably make this video a little bit shorter. I just kind of want to go over Bitcoin, kind of give you guys my thoughts, sort of where my overall direction in the market, where I think it's gonna go. So let's jump into this, guys. Subscribe if you are new. I'm probably gonna make one of you guys have messaged me, asked me to make a Facebook group, just talking about investing. Doesn't really have to be too crypto related, but just overall like investing in the stock market. A lot of you trade derivatives, so I'll probably do that. If it's up, I'll do it after this video. I'll just leave the link in the description if you guys want to join that. So let's go over here. I like to look at the logarithmic chart. We saw this massive pump with Bitcoin, but my overall trend is still down. If we kind of draw this trend line here, what I think will happen, and obviously this is all speculative, so sometimes I'll just go on like tradingview.com, Coinigy, and just look at some of the other charts of some of the other people that posted there, because we pretty much just all share ideas, right? Nobody really knows what's going to happen, but you could just, from everybody's TA is different, everybody has different ideas, so it's good to listen to different opinions. I think that we could possibly hit this trend line and go back down. I think that the bullish sentiment in the market, ever since we got this huge spike in volume that pushed the price, $1,000 in a matter of 24 hours, the bullish sentiment just turned on, in my opinion, way too quickly. I think that Bitcoin needs a longer, dragged out accumulation pattern in order to reach all-time highs. But then again, maybe there's been arguments on the other side. The markets are moving faster, this and that. But I think that we're not just going to get a slingshot back to the moon. So I was on the GATS live stream last night. We were talking about, we were all watching this rising wedge action that was happening here. And for short-term traders, it's very good to watch this because that's very negative. It's a bearish trend, right? So short-term, with the rising wedge, with the RSI divergence, we saw quite a bit of a dump, maybe like a 5% dump. Maybe will it hold support around here at 8,000 and continue back up? I don't know. But when you see RSI being oversold here with this kind of rising wedge pattern, that's very bearish. If you guys want to check out, I think the CryptoGat posts his streams to his YouTube channel. I'm in and out of a lot of people's streams, and he pointed this out, and that's true. I was watching this as well. A rising wedge pattern with the RSI divergence is bearish. Now, will this be bearish just short term? Is this good for just traders to look at? A lot of you guys probably made some decent money on shorts, but I think that the bullish sentiment is here in the market too early. I do think that we will probably maybe consolidate here a little bit, touch this trend line. If we do break the trend line, that's bullish, for me at least. But what I would like to see is us oversold again on the RSI. If we go to the daily, maybe we could have a little bit more of a pump, but I just want to see us oversold again. I would like to pick up Bitcoin, maybe start buying around 5,000. If we can get there. I don't even know if we can get there because, we've built some pretty solid support right around at this level, right around like 6,600, 6,500. So, I mean, who knows? Anything's possible. Right now, I don't want to say bearish on Bitcoin, but I will say that I think that the overall downtrend is there. We will probably hit this trend line, continue back down, maybe consolidate a little more, because if you guys are familiar with Wyckoff, what I want to see is healthy consolidation, and I don't think that we will be able to slingshot back. Could it possibly, hit this trend line like this, come back down, and then consolidate, and then maybe we'll continue on our way up, because there needs to be some sort of composite operator that accumulates Bitcoin, whether it's these big institutions. A lot of talk about George Soros coming into play. Now, maybe he's already in the market, right? Probably. Nobody knows, but I just think that in order for Bitcoin to sustain itself long term, there needs to be some sort of sustainable market pattern that comes in. And I truly believe in market cycles, and I think that this little spot right here, could that have been the accumulation zone and then ride back up to the moon? I highly doubt it. I think that's very, very too short of a time frame. I think it needs to consolidate a little bit more. Would I like to see Bitcoin drop down to 3,000, like a lot of other people are saying? And like, I believe it's possible. It's a very speculative market, of course, because I want to pick up as much cheap Bitcoin as I can. A lot of people will roast everybody else saying, "Oh, you're a Bitcoin bear." But yeah, in a sense, like, why wouldn't you want to pick up Bitcoin at $3,000? Hell, I want to pick up like 4, 5, 6 Bitcoin at that price. But that's just my analysis of it, guys. I know this is very, very shitty, kind of what I drew out here, but I want to know what you guys think. And especially with all of the geopolitical events playing out, which I don't agree with, but I think it can also have a negative sentiment on the market, strike fear in, and possibly, we correct. I think maybe 5,000, but if it breaks, definitely going lower. But the market sentiment changes all the time, so nobody really knows. If you're a long-term Bitcoin hodler, then maybe just on all the dips, you just add a little bit. You dollar cost average. You don't have to throw all your money in the market, and that's what I'm a big advocate for, is just dollar cost averaging in, so you don't have to be stressing about things all the time. You don't have to be looking at charts all the time and stressing about it. But if you're a trader, definitely these are some things to look out for. In terms of altcoins, I told you guys a while back, I picked up some Quantstamp again. Turned out to be a pretty good trade. What I'm seeing with some of these altcoins, once we probably get overbought here, could they run a little bit more? Yes, maybe around to like 20 cents. But even here, we're seeing some sell side pressure. But people made a lot of money this week off of altcoins. I mean, if you were accumulating around 10 or 9 cents, that's 71%. A lot of people were making a lot of money trading altcoins this week. My strategy, will I take some profits? Maybe. I probably won't sell anything. If this goes down again, I will probably just pick up more. But as you guys know, the coin that I'm bullish on right now is Dragon Chain, because we haven't really seen a huge pump with Dragon Chain. I think this can pump a little bit more. I'm very bullish on the project. If you guys want to watch my last video, I was talking about Dragon Chain. Really, really like the team. I really want to get into Wand Chain, but I do believe that it's due for a little bit of a dip. And could I be shooting myself in the foot for not getting in now? Yes, I can. But the thing with me is I'm very, very disciplined in the way I trade. So I want it at a lower price, and I'm willing to hold out for that, as well as ontology and the key I'm watching, all that type of stuff. And I think what we really need to watch is the Bitcoin price. And if Bitcoin tanks even further, we can probably see Bitcoin drag everything else down with it. So that's my real analysis on Bitcoin, guys. Obviously, this is very speculative. I just like to throw out my ideas. I'd love to hear what you guys have to think. Do you think that the bottom is already in? The bottom could very well be in already, but nobody really knows. So this is an article that just came out today, about 2 hours ago, which I thought was really interesting. Everybody's been talking about this in terms of cryptocurrencies and taxes, right? And Tom Lee is a crazy, crazy Bitcoin bull. So I'm just going to read a couple of sentences in the article, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So it says, Bitcoin prices were lower Monday ahead of a much anticipated tax deadline, which bullish pundits say has been holding back the digital currency this year. The cryptocurrency was trading near $8,000 as of 2 p.m., following Monday, its best week since February, according to CoinDesk. That's when we saw that crazy run up in Bitcoin, about $1,000 in a day. So it's dropped more than 40% since January 1st, after starting this year above $14,000. So tax selling has been a significant factor in downward crypto prices over the past few weeks. I would expect the downward pressure to abate after tax day, says Spencer Bogart, partner at Blockchain Capital. The International Revenue Service views Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as property, meaning profits from transaction are subject to capital gains tax. Bitcoin rose to more than 1,300% last year. As a result, U.S. households will owe roughly $25 billion in taxes for digital currencies, according to Tom Lee. This is very interesting to me. Reason being is because I never really bought the whole idea and the whole FUD in the market that governments want to ban cryptocurrencies, they want to abolish them outright. And I don't believe they do. I think they want to work with cryptocurrencies because when a new asset class is created, there's a new source of revenue for the government. The government will always want to get their dirty hands in everything that you do. If you're doing well, if you're making money, the government's going to be there to take it out of your pocket. I'm not saying that in a negative light. All I'm saying is that when there's money to be made, the government will follow suit right along there. So the cryptocurrency craze around last year, where we saw Bitcoin rip to 20,000, not a lot of participants were in the market, and already U.S. households owe roughly $25 billion in taxes. Imagine 1 year down the road, 2 year down the road, 3 years down the road, if this market turns around and we become in a full-on bull market again. We're talking tons and billions in dollars of tax money. So I think that's why governments are pushing for cryptocurrencies and are getting serious about tax regulations because they want their hand in the pocket. This can be looked at as positive and negative, but for me it's a positive because they're legitimizing cryptocurrencies, right? The negative is, obviously the government is going to come by and stick their hands in your pockets whenever they can. But this is why I think Bitcoin ETFs, different exchange traded funds for a conglomerate of cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Litecoin. That's why Wall Street wants to get involved, because it's another way for them to sucker and house money from you and to overall tax you. So that's my idea on this. What do you guys think? I'm just throwing out ideas here. I'm not no means an expert on this. I'm just trying to navigate the market like all of you. But this is kind of how I look at things. That's why I don't think that the governments would ever abolish Bitcoin, ever abolish cryptocurrencies, because when there's taxes, that's income and revenue for governments. So if we read on here, it says, the only major Wall Street strategist to issue Bitcoin price targets said on Sunday that Bitcoin may be hitting a similar bottom where it was a month before it hit 20,000 in 2017. And here's a tweet from Tom Lee where it says, where was Bitcoin 1 month prior to 20,000 top? 5,900. In other words, BTC this year rolled back prices similar to what happened in 2014, 2015. This could be same bottom as 2014, 2015 bottom. Also, selling related to capital gains taxes in the US should be lifting as tax day is 4/17. And as I'm doing this video, it's the 16th. So obviously tax day tomorrow. So going into the second half of April, could we see more bullish sentiment in the market? And it is very possible. As of now, I'm sticking to my guns here. I'm not buying any more Bitcoin than I already have. The Bitcoin that I have is locked away, safe. But for me, the risk to reward isn't there, right? If we go back to the Bitcoin chart, I just kind of want to see some sort of sound accumulation on this. And I don't think that, we've broken this bear trend yet. I think there's over optimism in the market. Anytime we see the littlest bit of bullish sentiment, everybody goes crazy. Everybody all over Twitter is like, oh, 50K, 50K. And it's like, that's the type of stuff when FOMO investors get involved and they get crushed. So I'm just taking this very cautiously. Could it come to bite me in the ass? Yeah, it could, but I'm very conservative. If Bitcoin rips to 50K in a month, good on me. I only have a little bit of Bitcoin that I have, but I'm going to try to stick to my guns on this. I would love to know what you guys think, but I do think that the taxes bring up a very good point, because we could be seeing more money roll right back into the market. And we've been seeing big players look at this, and I think especially with the overall positive sentiment in this year, with fundamentals are increasing, right? I do still think that a lot of these altcoins will go to zero. Even possibly some of the altcoins I'm watching and investing in will go to zero. But for me, I have chosen the altcoins that I like and that I'll continue to dollar cost average in. I'm still very bullish on ICX. Also, a lot of people in the market, a lot of you guys have been messaging me on Facebook and on Instagram, messaging me about Devry, right? So EVE. This will probably rip. It has a very low market cap. Obviously, the lower the market cap, you could possibly say the more speculative and the more risky the investment. But if you do your due diligence and you actually look at this, they've been having some serious partners with, the United Nations. So this project is definitely gaining ground. It's definitely not just a coin that's out there to be, a pump with no substance behind it. There's actually fundamentals behind this coin. So it's quite possible I may want to pick some up. However, it has been pumped quite a bit, probably because of all the speculation circulating around Twitter and all that. But just thought I'd bring this to your guys' attention because it was brought to my attention. Going to do a little bit more research, but holding off for now. But overall, it looks bullish to me. So that really concludes the video, guys. My sentiment is the same. I really want to see some bullish confirmation on Bitcoin. I'm going to continue dollar cost averaging into the altcoins I like. I'm not going to FOMO into anything. I'm going to be very conservative. And as always, I'm not concerned about being right about everything. As an investor, as a trader, good traders will know that it's not about being right. It's about being profitable. I could be right. I could be wrong 7 times out of 10 and still be profitable. It's just about how good my risk management is. That's really about it. So if you guys are new here, please subscribe to the channel. As one of you guys messaged me, I'll probably start a Facebook group talking about stocks a little bit more because I do see a lot of good plays in the stock market, maybe on the long end and the short end if we're going to buy some puts maybe after earnings. So I'll keep you guys up to date on that. Leave me a comment below what you think Bitcoin will do. And as always, I will see you in the next video.